all going to die tonight.
Yeah, hello. Yep, there you go. So we just got back from seeing Evil Dead literally about 10 minutes ago, and we're here to talk about it today. So, compared to the original Evil Dead, how would you rate it?
They're almost, you know, I think this one did a good job of not being completely like a port or, you know, like based on the original.
Like a complete, like, one-to-one remake, like Psycho or something.
So it's hard to say, you know, I think both movies, each on, you know, on their own are pretty good, but I'd still say, obviously, the first Evil Dead came first, so...
Well, I liked how they had all the nods and homages to it, but not only did they have those homages, but they did it in unexpected ways, you know, like, you see a chainsaw in there. How spoilery are you going to be? Alright, so you get the chainsaw in there, but it doesn't go to the person that you think it's going to go to. When he first goes into the shed, you see the chainsaw first, but then it pans up and he grabs the other things to make the defibrillator.
Well, there's other nods to the original one too, like when they first get to the cabin, when you see the girl sitting on the car.
That's
Ash's car, right?
Exactly. Well, Sam Raimi puts that in all of his films.
Yeah, and when they're going through the Book of the Dead, the picture of the skeleton coming out of the ground, it's the first Evil Dead poster right there. So.
Oh yeah, I didn't. Wow,
I caught that.
Yeah. And as far as the two films are concerned, they're like two entirely different beasts. Because you got the one that takes the more serious.
I also like how in this one they had a better reason to stay in the cabin.
Good with that, like the whole beginning.
Yeah,
I didn't like actually.
Oh, like the original with the burning and everything.
It's really too slow. Yeah, that intro scene was just what the hell is going on?
It was unnecessary.
Very unnecessary. It didn't tie into anything.
Well, and also I hated when they first go in the basement and they're like, something burned here, and they showed a flash.
No, like
being burned. I was like, what?
Is that guy psychic? Because he touches the thing and then he sees the woman burning, and then and that happens later with the dog. It's like, and he knows his sister killed the dog.
That being said, really quickly, while we're talking about the dog, was the dog the fifth soul that the thing needed to come
I don't know.
out of the ground?
It showed up for one shot at the very beginning, and you completely forget about it. And then you find it dead. It's like, okay.
But I was, because they said specifically you needed 5 souls to raise the demons.
Well, what kind of weirded me out is, so the cabin is the brother and sister's family's cabin. So who are these people at the very beginning using this cabin for this witch hunt?
Those are the people that hang up cats. You need a place to hang up cats.
But it's like, is that their family or what?
Was this just like some cult that came across this cabin? Like, hey, here's a good place where we can do all these rituals.
Yeah, and that woman that was like, burn her. Like, ooh, what?
How come we didn't see them again later on in the movie or something?
But when they got possessed, two things crossed my mind. The way they move was very like a Japanese ring. Like how they're all glitchy and everything. The long hair covering the face and all that stuff. But
Japanese.
They act like Linda Blair from The Exorcist.
Well, they look like her too.
Yeah, with the eyes and everything.
And the puke and everything.
But it's like I can smell your cunt and all that stuff, you know.
All the fuck you. I did like how she was like trying to seduce everybody too. Like when the girl was down there. Oh, the razor blade with the tongue.
Okay, so what parts grossed you out the most? The tongue one was pretty bad. When she was stabbing him with the syringe in the eye, that was pretty tough too.
The machete in the shed where she was stabbing the wall.
The reason why that was because it was so slow.
And you can see the rust on the end of it. It's just,
I also like I said, what I really like in horror movies especially is how, if they can be unpredictable. You know, because we've seen so many horror movies and they just kind of reuse the same thing over and over again. That's why I liked Cabin in the Woods, you know, because it was very, turned it on its head kind of thing. But in this movie, like when she gets her hand caught, that was a great part too, when he lifts the car and tilts it on her. and she gets her hand crushed and she reaches for the chainsaw and you think, oh, that's what's going to happen. But then she just rips it out of there and then sticks it in the chainsaw to operate. That was
I gotta say, but for me it was the first arm incident when the lady got her arm
they totally blew their expectations.
Because you're thinking Evil Dead 2 right there. Bruce Campbell was like,
you'll be okay.
Yeah, who's laughing now type of situation. But what got to me was after she did it and the guy walks in the room and you just see half the arm hanging
and then it
just falls.
Yeah, that got a big reaction.
Yeah. And then like, oh, you think, okay, she's gonna be okay now, and then oh, never mind, she's a dead. You know, like.
So, what did you guys think about her resurrection?
I thought it was a good twist because, like, that's going to be like the cliche. Oh, she's not. She's going to be still evil and kill him or
like
something
I said,
like that.
It plays with your
expectations.
Yeah.
And you could hear everybody in the theater thinking that, like, oh,
everyone. There was a bit of a when he started digging her back out, and everyone's like, oh, of course.
I was thinking that too.
I remember someone in the theater went just no. Like as soon as he was thinking no.
Darth Vader was in the crowd. So.
They twisted the whole end sequence around too, where you're thinking, oh, they just finished. He brought her back to life.
Well, I was wondering, oh, is he gonna shock her?
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be a last-minute thing where it's like the sister kills the brother and then the ends type of thing.
Or it would be like
it goes on for another 15 minutes.
Yeah, that was really surprising.
A surprise.
Yeah, I thought it was good. Well, like when he brought her back, I thought it was gonna be like Evil Dead 1, where you zoom in on face and then it's over. Kind of
and what did you think of the main girl though, Jane Levy?
She was good.
Yeah. I know her from Suburgatory.
On
ABC's. Check it out.
But yeah, with the whole premise, the reason why they're at the cabin is because she's going through like a drug.
Like I said, I like how they
had not a party or something.
They had a better reason. Yeah, they weren't just like hanging out.
Cliche.
Another thing too, a little bit to a previous conversation. All the nods to the old things, they actually worked in the necklace in there, but it wasn't pivotal or anything like that. But they worked it in that ugly ass necklace.
What was the point of that, really? I don't know. Like,
well, in the original one, it had a point because there was like it reflected or something. I don't remember.
It's been a while.
Yeah, sorry everyone. Internet's yelling at us right now.
Cool, but let's wrap it up with final verdicts and final thoughts.
Okay.
Alright. I say that was fantastic. I would definitely say to go see it as soon as possible.
What letter grade would you give it?
I would probably give it an A, just because in terms of remakes, that's pretty much how I would want someone to do it. It's got just enough callbacks to the original to be like, for people who are fans of that, to be like, oh, that's awesome, while taking entirely new spins on it and playing with your expectations. And like, it could have ended this way here, but it continues, and that happens a couple of times, and I really liked it.
Cool.
I totally agree with everything you just said. I would definitely give it an A rating. Again, I went in super skeptical, but it was worth it. It was really good. That's another question though. Would you say to go in with low expectations, or should you be spoilery going in, or does that affect it at all?
It's a gore movie. That's all the reason people are going to see it. So who cares?
I mean, it's raining blood at the end of the movie. There's literally blood.
Oh man, if they only had Slayer at the end of that would.
But I loved it. It was raining blood, and she was chainsawing him, and the blood was spurting this way and just everywhere.
Metal.
Yeah, it was metal as fuck. But so anyways, I give it an A rating. I loved all the callbacks to it. I loved the diversions of expectations. I thought the cast was really solid. Just that beginning scene, just ignore that and enjoy the movie. You know what? You can go to the bathroom, get some popcorn before the movie starts, and go, and you'll be fine if you miss the first 5 minutes or so.
Kind of a strange intro and kind of slow leading up to all the.
It was, but it's totally worth the wait.
Overall, I still give it an A because the rest of it makes up for it. Don't go in expecting to be one of these newer kind of horror movies where it's all shock and jumpiness or something. It's just a big gore fest, which is great callback to all the older Evil Dead movies and all those kinds of like blood fests and whatnot. So
so letter grade, you're giving it A. All right, I'm gonna give it a B.
What?
It's still good.
Yeah, it's still good. But what's bringing it down for you?
What's bringing it down for me was the slow intro. That the whole beginning scene that made no sense. And then when they get to the cat, it's just so slow, and the dialogue for me was just really forced. Where it's like,
yeah, but like I was saying,
to me, it took to it. They had a tree rape before things got exciting.
We didn't even talk about that.
Yeah, yeah. The tree rape is there. Don't worry, tree rape fans. Hashtag.
In a slightly different kind of way.
It's very different actually, but yeah, it was up until that point. That's when I started getting into it, but it was just too slow for me to start getting into it, and like I said, it's just for me it just lacked something. Like the gore was there, but it just needed a little humor or something.
Something like Ash, but not quite Ash.
Yeah, or at least a one line, one-liners or something like that. But
I don't know. I think you could easily overdo it if you put too much of that stuff in there. I think the one at the end was totally worth it. I think the wait, and like I was saying though, the exposition at the beginning, it pays off, and you have to trudge through it a little bit at the beginning, but I don't know.
Once it got moving, though.
Yeah, once it got moving, it was a runaway train until after the credits.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool, awesome. Well, I think that will do it. So these are just 4 random people you don't know talking about it, and hopefully it's entertaining. Yeah.
Come back for Sex and the City 3.